Good morning. Today's class is on following aircraft maintenance procedures. It is very important to follow the proper aircraft maintenance procedures and not form shortcuts that can result in mishaps that overall build up to be life-threatening due to complacency. Historically, combat deployed aviation units have suffered more loss from aviation incidents than that of combat. The steps outlined in today is understanding your maintenance procedures. A lot of times when we search these logbooks and we find a maintenance step, a 13-1 write-up, we'll find them in kind of deciphered code. Like, for example, servicing of the main landing gear struts required. That leaves us very vague. It leaves us not understanding which side, the left hand, right hand, or the upper or lower stage. So sometimes it takes a little bit more deciphering, and that's getting into the logbooks, the TM1-1520, 237-23. Our next step is reading all required technical manuals, work packages, and logbooks. Alright, this will help you understand the maintenance procedure better. It'll help you outline your parts that you need by reading the work package and searching for logbook deficiencies. What that means is you can be working on an aircraft, say you're working on the engine, and the logbook has an engine calendar removed, because we first searched the logbook. So you now know that there's components removed, so you can't fully complete it. Obtain all required tools, parts, and personnel. This is done prior to your work. You don't want to start your work without the required tools, the parts, or the personnel, because you can find yourself getting halfway completed and say it's running 1700 and tech supply has already went home. Now you can't order parts. Now this aircraft has to sit on Red X overnight. Or say you need 2 15 tangos for the job and there's only one out there, and now you got a heavy component that you got to move off the aircraft, and it becomes a safety hazard trying to climb down off the aircraft. And if you're ever unsure of the procedure, always ask. There's many of us around here that has ran into the same problem. In TI shop, they're intelligent, so just ask them. That's their job. That's their job, is to answer our questions. Next is, when you begin conducting maintenance, always emphasize on safety and accountability. We had an incident about 6 months ago where somebody parked a tug under the aircraft and they began to spin blades and move the aircraft out, and it damaged the aircraft blade, a $250,000 part, because of lack of accountability of your equipment that's surrounding you. Also important is the personnel around you. You want to know who you're working with, so you can keep accountability to everyone, so you don't cross-track, and if you start a maintenance procedure, you finish it. Don't hand it off to someone else, because a step could get mistaken. Upon completion of maintenance procedures, reread your work package for any follow-on maintenance. What that means is a lot of times we finish the maintenance and we think we're done. We may have briefed over a maintenance test flight required, a 9 to 11 hour torque check, or an MTF. Simple steps like these can result in failure of the aircraft if not completed. So make sure you reread your work package and look for these steps. They're always posted at the end. And lastly, never forget your FOD or toolbox inventory check. Because a lot of times we just breeze through it, sign it off, is naturally just signing them off. And we forget that we may have left a screwdriver up on a hydraulic deck, or may have even left our watch inside the cockpit. Inside may not be too hazardous, but it's just those traits that build up, like we stated in the beginning, that can become catastrophic. My resources I used today was the TM1-1520-237-23, which is the maintenance operation manual. The -10, the operator's manual, the AR95-1 for aircraft safety. And I actually went to Mr. Fitz, the battalion safety officer, and got different advices for him. And one thing he told me, since it's coming up on the winter months, and you signed out your shoe grips today, is have 3 points of contact when on top of the aircraft, because it comes very slick and you potentially slip and fall. So are there any questions?
I got one. Where do you find the maintenance procedures at?
The maintenance procedures are outlined in the TM1-1520, 237-23, also in the -10 operator's manual. We provide them on the aircraft logbook itself and in the paper manuals. Is there any more questions?
Is pre-prep important?
Pre-prep is very important, because say if tech supply leaves at 1700 and we're doing, for example, a tailwheel lube and we didn't order parts, now we're out of parts, and now we're sitting on a Red X status overnight and having to wait 12, 13 hours to complete. Alright, if any further information that y'all require on this, just get with me after the brief and it'll be good.